County Board of Education meeting. We want to open tonight in prayer, and Mr. Cordell.
Thank you. Let us pray. Father in heaven, we just thank you for this beautiful day. Another day, Father, to enjoy the beauty of your vast creation. Thank you, Father, for those in attendance at this meeting this evening. Father, we pray for wisdom and discernment and proper direction on the issues we handle. And Father, that you would be glorified. And Father, I just thank you for all those in this room today. I thank you, Father, for our teachers and our staff, our administrative staff, our custodians, our bus drivers, our whole team. Thank you, Father, for their commitment. Father, for the load they carry. I just thank you for what they're doing, for their commitment, their vision, and investing in the lives of our future generations. Father, just pray that you use us this evening, and may always do and say be to honor and glorify you. And Father, thank you for our board members. And Lord, just give us wisdom and discernment in the decisions we make. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. And our student ambassadors tonight are Davis McKenzie and William Rogers, and they are going to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So we have a call to order. I don't think we have no public comment tonight. So we're going to do principal report, and also we're going to shoehorn Ms. Cotton in here to give us a report on the school lunch program and how that's going after the principals go. So who wants to go first?
Ladies first. Always.
Notes today because we just got started, so we're still getting settled in. Today was our first full day of kindergarten, so we welcomed our little kindergartners back. They're precious. We welcomed our families at our open house, and we started our Smart Card fundraiser. It's just a little fundraiser we do to get a little extra cash to spend on the students, and that's all we got. We're just settling in, so
All right,
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
getting going.
Hello. At Hickerson, we're still getting in the groove of everything, trying to figure out car riders with our extra enrollment and everything is going a little tricky, but we're making it. And then we're going to add in about 38 pre-K students on Thursday. So, we don't have a whole lot going on in August, but in September, we have our book fair from September 2nd through the 9th. And the night of September 4th, we have family night at the book fair. September 2nd, we're having muffins with mom or any other adult. On the 3rd, we're having donuts with dad or any other adult. And on the 8th, we're having grandparents' breakfast. So maybe y'all can make it out, eat with our kiddos, do a little shopping at the book fair. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good to see you folks. A few things happening at middle school. First, our big fundraiser for the year has started. That started on Friday. So if you see middle school kids with a fundraiser packet, buy from them. It'll be great. So we use that money for safety items. And so last year we was able to purchase some radios for the staff, and we would like to try to finish that out this year. So it's going for a good cause. So that's our big fundraiser for the year. Tomorrow night, our first home football game. And so I know our football team's excited about that. That'll be tomorrow night at 6:30. Let's see here. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. Volleyball playing tomorrow night at Webb. Their first match is on the 13th, so that'll be later on. And with that home match for volleyball, we're doing a 6th grade tailgate. So our 6th grade parents are invited to come out and enjoy some food and some games and so forth with our sixth grade teachers. So that'll be before the volleyball game on the 19th. Our soccer team, girls soccer team, they're playing tonight. They had a game Friday, and they're playing again tonight. And our big house reveal for our students is going to happen next Friday. So that's a big ordeal, because we sort our kids into houses and we do competitions throughout the year and all of those kinds of things. So our sixth graders and our new students are going to be sorted next Friday. That's a big school assembly that will do that. So that's what's happening at middle school.
All right, thank you. Yes. Got her on the agenda.
All right. Good evening. I want to share a little bit of information about our school attendance for the start of the year. We've been really pleased with our attendance is, I would consider it really good every year, for as long as I can remember. But this year, it has been exceptional, and I mean not just a little bit better than usual, but a lot better than usual. And I don't know what the reasons are for that. I would like to think that it has something to do with the staff and us doing some things right. But a couple of things I'll share. Going back to last Wednesday and last Friday, and then also today, we have had attendance rates with our students over 97%. Today, we had 32 students absent in a high school of 1,222 students. On Friday, we had 28 students absent on a Friday for a 97.67% attendance rate. And last Wednesday, we had only 16 students absent. Now, there are a few students that are still working themselves off of our rolls that are transferring elsewhere, and that happens every year. But when those students are deducted, we had a 98.7% attendance rate last Wednesday. So we've decided we're going to start shooting for attendance rates that are up about body temperature, and we'll know we're doing well when that happens. Again, shout out to our students for their excellent attendance and for our staff for what they're doing. Also wanted to give you all a little bit of information about the high school as it pertains to the new electronic device policy. We are seeing lots of attentiveness in classes. More so, I think, overall than we had been seeing. And I think that is due, at least in some aspects, due to the new electronic device policy. I'm hearing lots of positive remarks from staff about the attentiveness. And we have had lots of unsolicited remarks from students that are positive about the policy. It may be that not everyone likes every aspect of the policy, but students are saying things such as, well, I can talk to my friend and they're not looking at their phone now. Or I don't have to worry about my phone buzzing every 30 seconds. We're hearing things like that without our asking, and we feel like that's a good sign. So just thought you all might appreciate hearing that.
Great, thank you.
Lots of other information from the high school to share when our ambassadors speak later. Any questions for me?
Yeah, I have a question on that attendance. That's just 10th through 12th grade, is
Ye-
that correct? And
yes,
we have-
ma'am.
And
That-
we have 1,200 students in 10th through 12th.
1,222, I think it was as of today. I could be off a student or two, but 1,222, I
If you
believe.
count the 9th grade, how many do we have? Probably,
I am not sure how many freshmen there are this year. I know there are over 400, but I don't know the specific number.
435.
wow, so that's getting big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anything else for me? Thank you.
Mr. Parsley.
Uh-huh.
Thank y'all.
All right, Cotton.
Well, good afternoon. Mr. Ballard just asked me right before it started to come up with just a little report. So I ran to my office and I came up with some reports that I could pull real quickly. I am seeing an increase. I had given Mr. Hargrove some, he's laughing because he was excited about giving good news. And I'm taking away all of his thunder right here.
Cutting my programming.
I cut it, yeah.
He'll be okay.
Yeah, he was going to look so good, but
He'll be
I
okay.
get to do it. So thank you.
I'm stealing his thunder now. so
Yeah, I
I'm
stole
sorry.
it. I stole it. We are seeing an increase in meals. From last year, last week, I figured we had about a 30% increase in breakfast and 10% in lunch, but it's sort of day by day. So like the first day that we served, this was July 31st, 964 breakfast. Today we did 1,564 breakfast, so it's increasing. And last year we did 1,203. So the breakfast from last year, at this exact day last year, was 361 more today. So our breakfast has just been a big hit. As far as lunch goes, the first day we served 2,898. Today we did 2,030. So it's not as big of an increase. But from last year we did 2,687 lunches, and today we did 3,030, which is a 343 increase from last year. So it is increasing. So I will know more at the end of the month as far as reimbursements go, whether we make the same amount of money or more. But as far as numbers go, it's going well. We are running into some trouble trying to get the kids through the lines, but we're working on that. And
More kids now, I guess.
there's more kids eating, more kids trying to get through the line in the same amount of time.
That's
So
a good problem to have, though.
yeah, it's a good thing. So we'll get
Thank
that
you.
lined out.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm
Any
hearing some
questions?
pretty positive feedback out there.
Oh, yeah, I think everybody's happy.
Good.
Yes. And it's really taken a lot of work off of, all of us doing free and reduced applications and having to hound kids for money. It's just completely around the better thing. So,
Awesome.
yeah,
Well,
any
thank you.
questions? You're welcome.
Thank you.
And you can expound later on. All right, so next on our agenda, we have recognition, and we were going to recognize Mr. Damewood, but the presenter, we're waiting on the presenter to show up, so we're going to kind of work that in later whenever they show up. So we do want to recognize Michelle Mulligan from Hickerson Elementary, and Mr. Hargrove, you want to do the honors?
Miss Michelle is full of energy, and I love her passion for Hickerson and the students there. $15,000 grant, the Lillian Ashley Foundation. And Miss Mulligan, what are you using the $15,000 to accomplish?
So we're hoping to build an outdoor classroom, outdoor kitchen classroom, so, yeah.
Awesome. And you're not done there. You have applied for another grant. Share about that organization and your intent.
So we're a STEM school and at Hickerson, and part of that, we have the well, I guess any school actually could, but you can become part of the Rural STEM Collaborative, and I applied to join that cohort group. And so we met this summer, and they gave us not quite $2,000, but it was close to $2,000 to for a project, and so we're going to use it in conjunction with our outdoor classroom. And then I also applied for a native garden grant and was awarded that. And so our intentions are to plant some native fruit-bearing bushes. So it's all going to come together quite nicely, we hope.
You have pawpaws out there?
We don't yet, but I would love to have some.
All right.
A lot of great things going on in our school system, especially at Hickerson, and Miss Michelle is one of the ones that makes it go, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we have our general call to
Don't do it.
We forget the photo shoot. We forget the photo shoot.
oh,
You look great.
the what sheet?
Photo shoot.
Oh, the photo shoot, yeah, that's right, okay. Forgot about that. Do that.
Choose not to duck my head down every time. This ain't my first rodeo.
Okay.
Just a last.
Okay, now, thank you for that, and we'll work Mr. Damewood's recognition in as the meeting goes along here. Now we have our call for intent, and just a note, our first, we're going to approve the general consent items, but a couple notes here. The policy committee was very busy. They did 30-some policies, and because we're so far behind, we are when you approve the consent agenda, you're also approving that we're going to do a first and final reading on all these policies. There was also one policy that Melissa handed out, and if you want to explain that real quick, what the change was there, just.
So, policy 4.601, reporting student progress. They're on, when these got merged, on the back it says that we would be doing 2 parent-teacher conferences. However, we do 1 parent-teacher conference. So the policy that you have is the correct one. The one that is uploaded on the website is the one that is not correct. It says 2, but we just do 1 policy. So this one that you have, you would be approving the one you have, and I will pull that one then to the website if it's approved.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask her a question on that now, or would we have to, I want to ask her a question about it.
Sure.
When did that one, how long have you been doing the one parent? Because I know at one time it was one in the spring and one in the fall and one in the spring.
That will be Mr. Shores.
We've been doing one for quite a while. I only remember really 1 year that we did 2. And one of the problems that ran into was the second one was in February, I want to say, and ended up getting a snow day and messed it up. But it's been one as long as I can remember, other than that one time.
Okay.
That's all I can
How did
remember.
that get in there?
So when we worked on the policies, we have the Coffee County policy, and then in the Coffee County policy, it has 1. Then TSBA policy had 2 meetings. So when I merged them together, it put the 2 and crossed out the 1. And we just didn't catch it in the meeting until one of the supervisors noticed it after the meeting was over.
So the policy committee approved it with 2. So I
Yes.
feel like that needs to go back to the policy committee.
Okay, and we can do that. So we can pull that one out.
Since the policy committee approved it with 2, then it needs to go back and, revisit it.
Okay,
Don't you
that's fine.
agree? I mean, it'd be better, I think.
That's fine.
Okay.
If we want to do that, because we're fixing to have another
Right.
one, so we
would
can pull that one.
Okay.
Strike 4.601, and from the consent agenda. And, okay.
Thanks.
Also, we have 2 agenda items we need to add. We had something that came in too late to get on the agenda, so we have a football Boosters Club barn that will be item number 10. And we have a request to pull policy 3.400 off of the consent agenda, and so that would be agenda item number 11. And with that, I believe that is the consent agenda. To approve the agenda, first and final on the policies, other than the ones we pulled out. And also, a little bit of housekeeping, we only have 7 board members here, we have a quorum, but for any motion to pass, it requires a majority of board members, not just those present here. So any motion would require 5 votes to pass, just as a matter of housekeeping here. So, so with that, let us, I need a motion to pass the consent agenda.
I so move.
Mr. Cordell. Have a second.
I'll second it.
Ms. Yinch. Okay, any discussion on that? All right, let's start with Mr. Cordell then.
Aye.
Ms. Inch?
Aye.
Mr. Ansert?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Hodge?
Aye.
Mr. Coon?
Aye.
And I will vote aye, that passes 7-0. So we have, all right. So our first agenda item is the job description for the bus attendant for SPED. And I will tell you, I read through the notes on the Salary and Compensation Committee, and it sounded like everything went, you know, I was impressed with, you know, how it, so, but go ahead.
Yes, sir. We're currently using bus drivers and paying overtime to teacher assistants to support our special needs students on several of our buses. I believe our recommendation brings economic value to the situation. We need to pay our bus drivers to drive buses, not serve as educational assistants. We're also short on bus drivers, as well as teachers' assistant, trying to track down teachers' assistants to do that, we're talking about proposing creating a different or another position to serve on those buses. We feel like we can provide better services with bus attendants, and they'll be trained by our special ed personnel, and we feel like it's just a better services. We can provide better services, and it's economically an advantage for us to do that with the pay. There are 6 positions. 2 of them will receive, as per the compensation committee, 2 will receive benefits. The others will be working as under the salary line of a teacher assistant with an additional $1 per hour. The reason those 2 would receive benefits, their bus routes are much lengthier and they would be on the buses quite a bit longer. The pay for these come out of our special education pot of money earmarked for transportation. We just feel like it's better serving our children, and we're being better stewards of our budget.
So this is a 2-part vote we're gonna do. Is the first part is we're going to approve the job description, and then the next agenda item is we're going to approve the compensation part. So that's, so I would need a motion to approve the job description.
So move.
Mr. Ansert, second.
I'll second it.
Ms. Jones. Any discussion? Going once, going twice? All right. Ms. Inch,
Aye.
Mr. Ansert,
Aye.
Ms. Jones,
Aye.
Ms. Hodge.
Aye.
Mr. Coon,
Aye.
Mr. Cordell.
Mr. Cordell.
Aye.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
So, and I will vote aye. That passes 7-0. Okay, the next item is and we don't have anything up here for that, but the compensation for this salary for the bus attendants.
The bus attendant that 4 will be under the teacher assistant pay line in the pay scale, and they would receive an hour extra, $1 an hour extra. Two of the employees would make teacher assistant pay, but benefits would be awarded on their behalf. And those 4 and 2 numbers are liquid numbers. It depends on the needs of the students riding the bus and the numbers and where they live. Next year it may be we have 1 with benefits and 5 others working for the teacher assistant pay plus additional $1 an hour. It may be 3 and 3. Our serving our students will dictate what that looks like from year to year.
Okay, so what are we voting on specifically here? So,
You're voting on 2 of the attendants working under the teacher assistant line of pay and with benefits. 4 of the bus attendants are under the teacher assistant's bus line plus an additional $1 an hour.
okay. And this was discussed in the Salary and Compensation Committee and
Yes, sir.
all agreed on there too.
Yes,
so,
sir.
All right. So we would need a motion to approve. Do I have such a motion?
I make that motion that we approve it.
Ms. Yinch, okay. Second?
I'll second it. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Jones, seconds. Any discussion?
Who got the second?
Ms. Jones?
Oh, I thought I heard Mr.
I think she
He
barely,
was first.
I think
had the
you're
lady
better out of this
first.
year, apparently. I think she just beat him by a hair.
I have a question. The, currently, the attendants on the sped buses, there's 3 from the, schools that's riding, from my understanding. And then the other 3 are bus drivers that are in their training phase. So they're not yet licensed. They still have to, get their hours and get their license, go take their driving test. What will they be doing if we hire these?
Mr. Westmore.
Be quite honest about it, Mr. Coons, I'm not sure where they fall in on the pay scale. I know it's a pretty significant difference between the bus driver pay scale and a teacher assistant's, almost $10 an hour difference,
Right.
so.
But they're, my understanding is that they're considered full-time even though they're in their training phase. So, I mean, we're still paying them, but yet, and then they're being used on the sped buses right now, so, I mean, no offense, but to me, my math, that causes, we're creating additional costs because we have to do something with them until they are licensed.
That's a great point. There may be some lag time between us posting these jobs and them receiving their bus license.
Okay.
Mr. Coon, I think there's a couple things we probably need to check in as well. If this is part of their training, are they able to be the attendant as well or not? And you brought up a very good point that we need to check into, and I don't think either of us have thought of that and realized that part of it. The plan was to actually hire attendants if it was passed by this board, to be able to take those places for the economic reasons. But we
Right.
would need to check into it, and I don't have an answer, and I don't think Mr. Hargrove has an answer at this point of that.
I understand the 3 taking the place of the ones from the school that are on overtime when, by them riding the buses, but I'm just wondering, what's the others gonna be doing? I mean, we're paying them anyway, so.
I think it comes down, we need to find out 2 things. One is their projected date to gain their bus license. Then we can have them driving buses and kind of coordinate that with posting of the positions. That way we don't have paying 2 people to do 1 job.
Okay.
Also, that would allow us time to train the
new
bus, yes. And our special ed director, Mr. Westmoreland, would provide that training for those folks. But that's the meshing of the 2, one leaving, the drivers leaving the bus and the EA moving into, or TA moving into that position. That makes sense. Maybe we make it contingent upon when those bus trainees receive their bus driving license.
Mr. Coon, are you proposing we defer this, till you get your questions answered?
No, I mean, they pretty much answered my question. I just,
Oh, okay.
you know, I mean, I was just curious as to, you know, I mean, you know,
I mean, that's an
you
option.
know,
if-
while
if
we're
you got
gonna be
questions.
paying, you know, two people to be doing
Yeah.
one job.
Yes, I'm confused.
One other thing too that's come up, if I may.
Sure.
My understanding that not all the SPED students have been integrated yet into the schedule, also. And once all the students are integrated into the system and riding in, you know, the attendance hours and the work will probably go up to like 5+ hours a day just for the morning and afternoon routes. Is that true?
Potentially. Potentially.
So, I mean, I just, you know, when we had our meeting the other day, and that's why we have these, I guess, so that we get these questions afterwards, you know, and come from you two, Lamb. So,
No worries, could potentially. And that's why I said we want flexibility in who those are that are receiving or working over the 30 hours a week to receive the benefits. It's going to depend on the route and the number of children.
And I'd like to refer also to Ms. Melson, because after they have done 30 hours per week for a certain period of time, is the way I understand, then it changes over to the full time. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we would have to monitor that, and after 3 months, if they've worked 3 months of more than 30 hours a week, then we would have at that time offer them benefits.
Okay, I have a question, because I was on that committee and I thought I understood it all very well, but I don't think I did.
I didn't get this until after we met, so it's.
Right, but there's 6 gonna be hired, is that correct? And 2 of them are full-time and the other 4 are part-time. So I guess what Mr. Coon was asking about 3, what was you talking about?
Currently, 3 of them, that's the attendants on the SPED buses.
Right now?
Yes,
But
are
are they-
drivers that's been hired, but they're
Right.
still in their training phase.
Right.
They're not licensed yet, because
Right.
they have to have so many hours of training before they can go take their driving test. So, you know, my thing is, why are we, you know, I mean, they have to be somewhere. So, I mean, that's what I was getting at was, you know, hiring the 6 right off the bat, but there again, we may not get 6 applicants either, so.
So we already have 3, so we just need 3 more.
No, the three will be bus drivers once they take their driving test. They'll be licensed bus drivers.
So they're no longer gonna ride the bus. Right now, some
Right.
bus drivers have been riding the bus because of
ma'am.
the necessity for it, is the way I understood at the meeting, yeah.
And as they
Okay.
cycle out back to the buses, we would
I see,
hire
okay,
in.
I understand now what you're saying.
Okay.
Melissa, can you read back the motion? I'm confused.
Motion is to approve 4 4 educational assistants, hold on. Motion is to approve 4 bus attendants on the EA pay scale plus $1, 2 bus attendants on the EA pay scale with benefits.
I have a question because you're wanting the flexibility, but if we vote it in this way, that's the way it is.
That is correct.
And so
it needs
this
to change.
doesn't give you the flexibility. How can we vote it in a way that gives you the flexibility you need?
The motion actually needs to be something down the line of,
6.
bus attendants that are not full-time would receive teacher aid pay. Bus attendants that are receiving, full benefits would receive the $1 less, on it. Yeah, and I left out the $1 more on the first ones, but we don't need to say 4 and 2.
Right,
We need to just
right.
say the ones that get full-time would be receiving benefits. The ones that are not receiving full-time would receive teacher aid pay with $1 extra per hour.
Well, that makes more sense because you want the flexibility, and I don't want to vote it in as into concrete.
Right. A total of 6.
Total of 6.
And can you explain the funding? Mr. Shores, can you explain the funding? Who will be funding this?
I would prefer that Ms. Melson explain the funding than me.
So we will use, so right now we're paying for 2 aides that get quite a bit of extra time or overtime each month to ride the buses. So we will use part of that. And then, right now we're also short on bus drivers. So we will be able to absorb that should be able to absorb that in our transportation budget.
Okay, so
Once
the
those
aides are being
drivers-
paid through special ed right now?
The aides are being paid through special ed, yes, ma'am.
So, Ms.
Um,
Hickerson, would you like to modify your motion?
Yeah, if I can figure out how to modify it. So I make the motion that we hire 6 special ed employees. The ones who are, give it to me.
Okay, hiring bus attendants,
All right, hiring bus attendants.
ones with full-time would receive teacher aid pay and benefits.
The ones full-time would receive teacher aid, pay, and benefits.
The ones that are not receiving full-time will receive teacher aid pay plus $1 on an hour.
All right, the ones who are not full-time will receive teacher aid pay plus an additional $1 per hour
And no benefits.
and no benefits.
Ms. Jones, are you okay with you seconded? Are you?
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I have another question on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done either.
What is a rough idea, what is the benefit value per hour for a full-time employee?
So you can add pretty much 20% to their salary. Per hour, it would just depend on, I would have to calculate that, but you could pretty much add 20% of their salary, and that's the benefit. So if they're making 20,000, if a bus aide's making 20,000, that's gonna be, around 4,000, 4,000 to 5,000. It also depends on what they pick. So if they pick a higher family plan, it will cost more to the district. So it just depends on what benefits they select as well.
I thought if they pick a family plan, they're paying for the family.
Well,
correct?
we pay the employee part. It's a higher employee part for us.
Oh, okay.
We pay 67% of medical, dental, and vision for our employees. So it just, those family plans are a little more expensive. So the district would be at more cost if they picked a family plan.
Okay. All right, so with that, let's just say roughly, somebody making $18 an hour, the 20%, that's about $3.60 an hour worth of benefits. I guess I have a problem with only paying the part-time ones $1 an hour more for doing the same job. Now, I'm all for being good stewards of our tax dollars, but I'm also about being fair to our employees. I mean, if they're gonna do the same job, I think they ought to be compensated. Now, whether, I mean, I know there's a lot that goes into it, but, I mean, come on now, I'm sorry, I think $1's a little cheap.
That's a good point.
Well, I mean, it's,
What
I mean,
about-
if we're not gonna give everybody benefits, then, I mean, the ones not working full-time should be able to have some kind of compensation because they're doing the same job. And it's
Aren't we not paying
it's a
$1
rough
more?
job.
It is.
Mr. Coon, one of the reasons why we looked at the pay scales that we were looking at is because we have the two pay scales currently. We have the teacher aide pay, and then we also have the teacher aide pay with $1 for certain positions within our school system. But that's the reason why we looked at the two different pay scales and was trying to make it, using those as close as we could to justifying the benefits and the $1 an hour and so forth. I do understand what you're saying, but that's the reason why we looked at those two numbers, is to not create another pay scale as well.
Well, to me, and I mean, you know, looking at it, you're creating a new position because we just approved the job description for it. So if that requires a new pay scale, then so be it. I don't see where that's very hard to do, to create a pay scale for them if we choose to go that route. Because it is a new position, because we just approved the job description. You know, we're not adding personnel to a existing job description. We just approved the new job description.
Don't have a problem with that.
Mr. Hargrove, what about if since we don't have these students all integrated yet, in lieu of this information that I've gained this past week, what about if could we table this for a little while?
Sure, we can do whatever.
And let us
Yes, sir.
let the students get integrated, let that happen, and then see what because we may end up having to if it's gonna take 5 hours, and we're gonna end up hiring them anyway. If that's true. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Nope, we don't have a problem with that at all. That'd be good.
So the reasoning behind this is to serve special ed students on the bus. Is that
Yes,
correct? So that's where it all, Mr. Westmoreland is the one that would be responsible for that, in my opinion, because this is not regular instruction. It's if those students weren't on that bus, we wouldn't have an attendant. Is that correct?
Right, and it provides us an opportunity to train. Right now, we have untrained personnel. I know
Right.
they're getting their bus license, but they're not trained to, yes, ma'am, to
serve those
attend to those
students.
students'
Right.
needs.
And also in the meeting that before the compensation meeting, what was brought to the compensation committee, it included Mr. Morris, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Westmoreland, Mr. Hargrove, myself, Ms. Milson, and that's where we had a discussion. So they were all part of that discussion before the compensation committee on what to recommend.
Right. But my point is that it's not. This is a special ed need,
Yes, ma'am.
and that's why this job description was developed to begin with. So, like you say, if those students aren't on the bus yet, are they?
Some are,
Some
not
are,
all.
and we've been, but
We're still serving some.
and that's been served by bus drivers that have been riding on there,
Yes, ma'am.
that taking them away from their bus route, you might say, from a bus route and riding on the bus.
Eventually, yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Let me ask, Mr. Westmoreland, how long do you think it's going to take you to train these attendants? Because that needs to be taken into account too, because that's going to take time.
Once these attendants are hired, it would be probably an hour to a 2-hour session with me to go over some things about verbal de-escalation and how to handle unruly students or medically fragile students using the lift. And a lot of that will be collaborated with the transportation department. And the one thing about the integrating the students is, we never have them all integrated throughout the year because it's so static up and down. We'll have a student come in, they'll need to have a half-day transportation schedule, and it's a domino effect. But the main reason that my motivation behind wanting this position was because every time we have to make adjustments to schedules, the transportation department really has to struggle with finding drivers for this different route, this new route. So, my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we need to have drivers behind the wheel of the buses and put assistants on the buses to support them. And so that's kind of how all of this kind of got started, because we have pre-K students right now who are in the wings waiting for their eligibility. If the parents have to send their students out of zone, then we're going to, offer them special transportation. And every week or so, we're having another one. We may even have a student's parent take away transportation or decide they don't want it any longer. So then that's another process. We have to contact the bus garage, and then they have to go through the process of rerouting and changing the routes. So, as far as the integrating the SPED students, it's one of those things that throughout the school year is really never 100% completed. But our school-age children, kindergarten through 12th grade, are pretty much, they should be attending school on the SPED bus presently. The only ones that we're going to see the static changes week to week are the pre-K students who receive special transportation. So it's imperative that, of course, the board can decide, what the board wants to do, but we definitely need these assistants on the buses. Now, the question about the certified, the people going through training, getting their license and all that stuff, you're talking about 3 positions, give or take. But we have SPED buses who are running all over this county all day long. And the person who's having to run a morning route, a midday route, and an afternoon route, those people are going to be putting in 6, 7 and a half hours a day. So they fall under that full-time category.
I think it's what the word that I got from the information that I got, Mr. Westmoreland, was that's probably, they're gonna be working right at 5 hours anyway. And we're counting on what we talked about in our meeting the other day was 4 hours. So 6 hours is full-time.
Yes.
So we're right on the verge of being full-time anyway. And here we are 3 weeks into school.
Yeah.
And if we're not gonna have all these students integrated, that's what I said, asking everybody else's opinion as well, is do we need to, how long is it gonna take to get our bus drivers trained? That we're using them for.
Well, if someone, you're talking about the ones that are going through the
ones
driving.
that's going through the
Okay,
driving
now see,
training.
that's a transportation question. I have no idea on those guys or ladies.
There's a whole lot of things that I don't know now that I didn't know the other day either.
Well, that's why the flexibility, we mentioned the flexibility in the numbers of it.
Yes, sir.
Our students' needs and the amount will drive that.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Right now, we're going off the number of hours that Mr. Morris is saying this is happening today.
Okay.
We need 2 full-time because we're going to be going over 6 hours per day, and we need 4 less than that because that's what we're doing today. That's what we're going off of. And that could change, like Mr. Westmoreland said. It could be next week we have 5 students come in and mess that all up, and we have to have another one. And that's the reason why we're asking for the flexibility as needed.
Well, it seems to me if you're training bus drivers and you're going to be training these new employees, that's an awful lot of training going on. And, these bus drivers, if they're there for training, that training is not to watch students. That training is to figure out how to ride that bus.
And the training I would provide is to handling students, not driving the
Right,
bus. It's just handling
exactly.
the students.
So it seems like they're needed now, so that the bus drivers who are getting their license can concentrate on driving and not having to watch the students. So it sounds like it'd be good to go ahead and get somebody in there, even if we kept that extra person on the bus who's trying to learn how to drive that bus.
And I'm very unclear about which buses have the driver being trained. That was new to me tonight. But as far as the educational assistants in our district right now who are being paid overtime to perform duties, I think we have 2 that do that on a daily basis.
Yes.
So at a minimum, we could fill the positions with an employee, a bus attendant, and then that would offset that overtime that we're paying at a minimum, just off the start.
Yes, sir.
And that was my focus.
And also, Mr. Kuhn, you had asked about some with the pay. These that we're talking about, the attendance, to be an aide, you have to either have 2 years of college or go through a parapro test and pass the parapro test. To be a bus driver, of course, you have to get your license. You have to go through that entire process. To be the attendant, you're not going to have to do either one of those. So that's going to be another reason why there might be a change in the amount, with the pay as well.
Looks like we're talking about two different positions. Those that are trained to be a bus driver aren't
We
gonna,
are.
aren't gonna be on that bus. So we need to concentrate on the attendants and the 6 that we're gonna be hiring, because they're not gonna be bus drivers.
Correct.
Now, there may be an overlap.
Right.
I don't know about that.
But they would have to certify as, if they're a bus driver, they would still have to meet the requirements for a special ed aid. Would they?
No, not a bus driver. A bus driver would just have to meet.
No, not the bus driver, but I mean the
assistant.
attendant.
Yes.
So there may be those that don't wanna, that can't certify for a special ed attendant that's getting their bus driver license. So we got two different
and,
situations.
The only reason why I said bus driver was because that's what we're using now, is trying to use bus drivers and giving them bus driver pay to watch the students. And we're trying to move away from that.
Right.
Now, as Mr. Coons stated, I wasn't aware of bus drivers that are drivers that's trying to get their license to be bus drivers watching the students. I wasn't aware of that.
And that wasn't brought up.
That wasn't brought up at our meeting
I
either,
wasn't aware of it.
but I agree with Ms. Yinch. To me, they need to be learning how to drive a bus in the parts of it. Now, they could be doing that while they're doing this other. I'm not sure. I'm not on there. I'm not the one that's doing the training. But our whole purpose is to have somebody watching the students, and they don't have to be parapro. They don't have to have 2 years of college. They don't have to have a driver's license, period, as far as that goes.
Just pass.
They have to,
pre-hire stuff, that's
right,
what
the
they
pre-hires,
have to
so forth.
do. But you are right, Ms. Jones. There's two different things going on here. You have the bus driver who's training to be a bus driver, and then you have an educational assistant that I'm talking about, to go on the bus and only support the children. Now, they're gonna support the driver when it comes to emergency situations and things like that, but their sole responsibility is gonna be to support those kids and then be there in the event of an emergency situation.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion on the
Well,
floor.
read that again.
What's that?
Have her do that motion.
Melissa, would you read that?
The infallible Melissa.
The motion to hire bus attendants who are full-time will receive teacher assistant pay with benefits. Part-time bus attendants will receive teacher assistant pay plus $1 and no benefits, hiring a total of 6 bus attendants. You wanna change
The only thing would be the $1 on an hour.
on there?
Yeah, and I think I
Yes.
put that.
Otherwise, you could get lost in what that means.
Yeah, that's.
And we don't provide benefits to anyone that's not full-time, so we're not penalizing these people. It's just, that's the process as of now. Anybody that's not working full-time do not get full benefits. And that's the reasoning behind that. Is that correct?
Any further discussion?
So if they work, we get to the point where, make sure that we're clear that they're working, how much overtime will make them qualified to work full-time?
They would have to work 30 hours per week to be a full-time employee. And then we would have, so we do this kind of with our subs already, to make sure some of our subs that are working every day that don't qualify. So it's a look back period. So we would look at 3 months at a time to see what they average. So it'd have to have an average of 30 hours per week before we would offer them benefits.
So if they work 30 hours a week for 6 weeks, they can be eligible to work full-time then,
3 months. We have a look back
9
period
weeks.
of 3 months.
or 12 weeks, 12 weeks.
So at that point, do you make them full-time? Because you can't just pay benefits for a month or two and then stop.
We
So
would
at
have
that
to-
time, once they work that many hours in the 3-month period, then they transfer over to full-time employee?
Yes, we would look at that. We've never had that situation, but we would
Okay.
that was probably what we would do. We'd make them a full-time employee at that point and offer them benefits.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you said you did substitute teachers that way.
Well, there's a state law that says we have to look at substitute teachers. Sorry,
So
I didn't
we
mean to get
haven't
off on that
gotten
rabbit
any
hole,
that-
but Yeah, we have to look at their hours and days worked to make sure we don't need to offer them benefits.
Okay.
And Ms. Jones, I will add, if anyone goes to that full-time over 30 hours, it'll be the transportation department and the director of transportation to ensure that that person is working consistently full-time throughout the entire school year. Because I'm like you, we don't want to go back and forth. If they're working 30 hours a week, they need to continue to work 30 hours a week for the duration of the school year.
Ms. Westmoreland, can you include that in the minutes? If
Yes.
they work 30 hours for 12 weeks, that they will be eligible for full-time employment. So that this don't get lost in the shuffle.
And that's
6 months or a
important.
year from now.
That's important.
It's very important. Very important.
All right. Mr. Hansard.
Oh, we're voting on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Hodge.
Aye.
Mr. Coon.
No.
Mr. Cordell.
Aye.
Ms. Inch.
Aye.
I will vote aye. That passes 6-1. All right, we're going to blow Robert's Rules of Order right out of the water here tonight and kind of do Mr. Damewood's recognition right in the middle of the meeting, but kind of respect people's time, so.
This is Jill Pierce, the Executive Director for the TITA organization. I'll let her do her talking.
Come on up to the mic.
I appreciate, I was coming from East Tennessee just for the board meeting, and for some reason, you know, these calendars, I've been in a school district for over 30 years, retired now, in a job similar to Randy's in East Tennessee. For some reason, it puts you at 6 o'clock Eastern time. I mean, I'm sorry, be 7 o'clock Eastern, and so your meeting was at 6, so I apologize, I thought it was early. My Tennessee farmer daddy would absolutely get upset that I was late to something, so I do apologize, and I appreciate the time. Here's the good part. I'm not asking for nothing, no money, anything. It's just all good news. So how's that? Director Hargrove, Chairman Ballard, board, it's my distinct honor. We always present a really large award called the Dr. Howard Cisco Chief Technology Officer Award statewide once a year. We do it at our conference in July, and this year's recipient is Mr. Randy Damewood. So I think all of you know how well Randy does, but the one thing you may not know about him is how respected he is statewide. He is a beacon for how well people look at Coffee County. And I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the leadership of the board, the leadership of your director, all the supervisors and principals that are in here, because, you know, the people that make up your school district, working with your kids are what shines the light on your county. And he's a really big example. I've known him myself for over 25 years. I always say I look really good for an 80-year-old woman, but this award comes with, in the spring, he'll get to go to the National Consortium of School Networking, which is on security and how schools work, and he's going to be with other CTOs. TITA pays for that, no cost to the district. So he'll get to go to Chicago in April, and we pay for that. He's recognized. There'll be a couple of stories that'll be coming out on some national guide as we go, and we'll make sure that you guys get copies of that. But Randy has, by far, if somebody has a question, he's always there to help other districts because he's already done it for your district, and that's the kind of people you want working for you. So this is the second time I get to present it to him, but I wanted to do it in front of y'all because you need to know that he's gotten this statewide attention. Because, like I said, we do this once a year, and there's only been so far about 9 of these across the state. I think that's right. Wow. So, Randy.
Wait. Gotta get the picture.
Well, I just want to say, I want to thank my guys that are back there and Donna West, because they're what makes me good here. They don't have anything to do with what the state people see about me, but here, I mean, I want to thank my guys and Donna West for all the support they give me and what they do out in the field. So there we go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And thank you for driving from East Tennessee to be here. Thank you.
Like I said, I do apologize. I just won't tell my father.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we now resume our regularly scheduled programming, and we have Workout Wednesday. So we didn't get it included in the packet, I don't think, but,
What is that?
It's a use of facility.
okay,
You see it, and then it has a letter in here also.
okay. Mr. Hargrove?
It should be
Okay,
AI3
AI 3, okay.
or 80 something 3. Look for 3. You see it?
I think AI 3 is budget.
Budget.
Hold on, I'll pull it up.
I got it, girls. I don't know what it's called, but it's in here.
It wasn't in the packet.
Let me see.
Well, maybe you can just do a quick introduction.
Oh, here you go. I don't know. Maybe it got skipped. Here you can have mine.
Okay. So this is, well, Mr. Andrew Taylor.
Coach Taylor's here present.
Okay. So do you want to come up and talk about this real quick? I think the reason this is on the agenda, just so everybody knows, is because you're asking for a complete fee waiver. Normally, we don't waive the custodial fee, and so
Right.
you're asking for $0. So that's why it's
Right.
a separate agenda items.
Right. So, after 17 years, most of you know, after 17 years of being the head volleyball coach, I stepped away this past year to deal with family. I wasn't forced out, as being said, out and about, and now I'm just a head men's basketball coach. And I've gotten one day out of the week on Wednesdays that I don't pick up my granddaughter from daycare. And people have reached out to me about doing basketball lessons with some of our upcoming players, elementary players, middle school players. So what I'm requesting is that I can use the gym 1 hour a week, Wednesdays, 4:30 to 5:30, to work with the young basketball players in our county. I just feel like there will be no custodial cleanup because I'll be the one in the gym, and I'll tidy up the gym like I do every day when basketball's over. And that's, I think today when I talked to Miss Amy Barnard, fees were going to total about $115 worth of fees for every Wednesday that I wanted to use the gym. I am asking for $10 per child per lesson. In the lesson world in athletics for sports, that's really cheap. Up until this past week, actually they'd gone to TSSAA, and they proposed that they require us to charge so it didn't violate recruiting and that kind of thing. But they didn't pass it. So I don't technically have to charge, but I have worked with young people in the past at no charge, and then it honestly kind of turns into babysitting. Kids get dropped off, and so I am charging $10, but I'm really not trying to make money off of this deal, honestly. I'm just trying to work with our young kids, as mentioned, in one of the meetings earlier in the year, I think maybe by Miss Jones. We were talking about athletics, making those relationships with our elementary kids and our elementary players and getting connected with those people and kind of tracking them as they come up. And this is a way for me to do that, as well as the middle school kids. And as most of you probably know, as of July 14th, TSSAA followed the NCAA and passed the transfer rule. So getting relationships with our kids and our good athletes and our good players and keeping them in Coffee County is become a little more difficult, just because now TSSAA is going to, allow kids to transfer once in high school. So that's what I'm asking for, so I don't have to pay $115 every time I want to work with our kids and improve our basketball in the county.
So first, you're not just a basketball coach, you are a pillar in our sports community, and I think this is awesome, and thank you for doing this.
Well, I appreciate it.
We'll be signing up 2 of them.
So
Okay. Look forward to the opportunity.
let's get a motion out here to approve.
I
I
make
so
a
moved.
motion we approve. Okay, I'll second it.
Oh,
Where's the $10 going to?
The $10 is going to me for my time.
all right, discussion. So, any questions for Mr. Taylor?
There are not a lot of opportunities like this for our kids in this town, and this is a very exciting opportunity for a lot of young athletes. I
Right.
think it's awesome.
Yeah, and the reason it's on the agenda as a separate item rather than the consent agenda, because it's asking for a complete waiver of fees, which is something we typically haven't done, so that's why. we
Oh, I
wanted-
get it, but if we want to grow our athletes and have them excel, we need things like this.
I think if we go back through our minutes, we have waived the fees, because I remember being, as a board member, saying that, you know, we're waiving the fees for this group, then we're opening up for other people, and that's fine, you know, if the board approves it, the way I look at it. And also, I would be willing, if there was a child that wanted to attend the basketball camp and didn't have the $10, I would be glad to give that. I don't guess fee waiver money would go toward that because it's not for academic performance, I guess you might say, but in my opinion it is. If a child can feel good about themselves and have some type of athletic program that they feel a part of, that enhances their academics.
Yeah, well, being part of the Weave Foundation, if someone needs the funds to come to a clinic, or they want to turn in a request to the Weave Foundation, I can get them in charge with the right people, and through the foundation we can see that these things get covered if a child wants to attend but financially can't. So I have, potential access to some funds if.
Right.
So and I think you're doing the cleanup and stuff too, so you're really taking the place of the custodian, so that, to me, kind of covers that.
Mr. Ballard, the TSSAA, we were this close from forcing him to take money. That was, no, seriously,
Oh, yeah.
that was a rule. If you tutor kids or have these nuts, we were going to be forced to charge fees, and it kind of settled in this place due to the transfer rule. I'm not so sure it won't be that way a year from now, where if we have coaches doing it, they'll be forced to charge a fee.
And you deserve the fee. That's your time and your effort and time away from your family, and you're putting a lot of effort and love into these kids, and you deserve that.
Well, if anybody's done lessons in any time in the past, whether it's fast pitch or baseball or basketball or whatever, lessons can become expensive. But I'm not trying to, like I say, and if I wind up with more kids in one session than I think I can handle, I can, potentially bring in players to help out, and then part of the money would go to the program. My players help me. Seniors, of course, if they help me in some kind of fashion with this, they could get credit for Tennessee Promise service hours and things of that nature. So if it did become, larger than maybe what I'm anticipating, I can use, players and give back to the program and let them get their service hours as well.
Well, I can vouch that it's not a money-making project, because I remember when my granddaughter took basketball lessons or whatever, it certainly wasn't $10. So
Yeah, we're trying to improve our basketball, keep our athletes here. We don't want them going to the other side of the creek. We want to keep them here. So people have asked. It wasn't my intentions to do it, but I've gotten requests to do it, so I got approved one day a week to do it to where I'm up.
Are you offering it for boys and girls?
Yes, boys or girls.
Okay.
And if there's siblings involved, we'll work out some kind of situation. We'll cut a deal for siblings. But boys or girls, yes.
Okay.
Questions? The motion is to approve a no-fee facility use permit for Coach Taylor. Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Hodge?
Aye.
Mr. Kuhn?
Aye.
Mr. Cordell?
Aye.
Ms. Inch?
Aye.
Mr. Hansert?
Aye.
And I will vote aye. That passes 7-0.
Thank y'all.
All
I'm
right,
excited. Thank you.
Mr. Ballard,
All right.
who was the motion and the second on that one? I somehow missed.
Mr. Cordell and Ms. Jones. We're gonna get into the insurance bids here. So we got the dental, vision, and life insurance all separately. So Ms. Nelson, you wanna do the intros here?
So 2-ish years ago, there was a law that passed that we have to bid out if we're not with the state plan, which we went away from several years before I came here. If we're not with the state plan for your insurance, you have to bid it out so it's competitive. So this is our first year of having to do that, so that's why you guys are seeing it on the agenda. We bid it out. Mr. Mike Ingram, our broker with benefits planning, has helped us through that process, and I'm going to turn the mic over to him to kind of go through what we saw in the bid packets and to explain the details to you guys.
Okay, are we gonna go through each one? Because we got 3 agenda items
He's
here.
going to ask how you would like to do that.
Okay. We can do the presentation all together and then vote on dental, vision, and life insurance separately, or you can break it up,
Correct. It's kind of up to you all. Again, good evening. There's a reason we might want to do dental vision together first. We can do life separate.
Okay.
Because some of the vision benefits are tied to dental. So I've given you all a summary sheet after the bid. Do you have that available? And because that's what I'm going to highlight now, run through the specifics of that. So the dental insurance, we've got the incumbent dental plan.
Can
is
you wait
called-
until we find it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can make some copies for it.
Yes, you
It's
would.
not, I was told that it was not to be made public. I thought
Okay.
we were doing a PowerPoint, so I did not make copies.
Gotcha.
I will go make copies right now.
Well, and it's real high level. If they don't need them, I can walk through it. It's up to you all.
I'll make copies though, so they'll have.
Thank you, Melissa.
And as we talked in April, that we're not required to take low bid on these things, so we can
That's
just.
correct. So, the auditor, I have talked to the auditor about this because this was our first kind of go around on the requirements and what that looks like. So she did say that we are not required to go with the lower bid on any of the plans, just as long as we specified why we wanted to choose the plan we chose.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did a traditional bid spec and wrote out the different weightings to the different decisions and stuff. And a lot of what we'll go through, one of the things I always want to stress is with the 3 incumbent carriers for life, dental, and vision, we have a known entity, and we've got the employee feedback is, from a negative standpoint, has been next to 0. So that's something I think from a weight standpoint we want to keep in mind. When we do make changes, and some of this we'll go through as well, depending on what that change is from a carrier standpoint, we can have disruption to the employees, which is something we want to make sure we keep to a minimal, keep them happy. Obviously, if there's a huge price swing, we got to take that into consideration, but we didn't have that this bid.
So Mr. Ankerman, I and Jody sat down and had a meeting a couple weeks ago, and we kind of went through each carrier and went through an evaluation sheet on there were several different items, and so we kind of went through how we felt about the carriers, and so we have all reviewed this together. Feel pretty good about what we currently have. I'll reiterate what he said.
Who was on the committee? Because I know whenever insurance is renewed, there's usually a committee that meets, that goes over it, that's representation of the teachers, is that, and the employees?
I don't think there's a committee. We didn't use a committee.
We've never had one?
No, no ma'am.
So you just decided, you and him?
Well, prior to this, it was prior to, right when I came in, We were already with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and yes, we were able at that time, without having to bid, to make the decision on what plans to go with. And so Mr. Ankrum helped me through that process the first time we did it. And then the state law changed, and we had to bid it out. So that's kind of what led us to here today.
So if you flip that first page over, you got dental and vision on that second page. We'll start there and do the life.
Okay.
Do life after.
All right, just for the public knowledge. We had to bid it out, and we bid it out, and this company got the bid. Is that correct?
Well, these are the bids that we received. So we didn't make a selection. We didn't make a selection when we met and talked about it. Okay. This is for you guys to look at, and kind of leaving that. We're going to go through the details, and then I think Mr. Hargrove has a recommendation on each thing, and then you guys can go from there on what you want to do.
Sorry.
That makes sense. No problem.
We're trying.
More questions? Okay. So dental insurance, Beam is the incumbent. That's the top one highlighted there. They proposed at the bid a 5% increase this year. 1 year rate guarantee, so the rates are locked in for the year. There's a rollover benefit for the employees, so every year if they meet certain requirements, they can have additional dollars added to their maximum annual benefit up to $3,000. We've got a $1,500 annual benefit right now. Every year it rolls over, it can go up to $3,000. Again, known entity. One of the things that's important with dental is your providers. Do we have access to the providers that your folks use? Are they happy with them? So that's the current plan right now, and right now we haven't had any complaints as far as having access to the correct dental providers. Delta Dental had put in a bid. Theirs, unfortunately, is 12% higher than the current rates. It also is a 1 year rate guarantee. They also offer that rollover benefit. It matches Beam, and they'll give credit for anybody that's had an increase in their benefit if we roll it to Delta Dental. Challenge obviously is the increase, and that primarily hits the employee children and families. So that's the folks that will get hit the hardest with a premium increase moving to that. They also have, and I apologize, this wasn't on that list, they have a different benefit if you don't see a PPO dentist. The likelihood of one of your members, one of your employees being balance billed, meaning, hey, I went in and paid what I was supposed to, and then I get billed even more. It's increased significantly if they don't see a PPO dentist with Delta. Now, Delta's got a very extensive list of dentists, but that still could happen if you got folks that aren't in the area here. They could have to pay more if they go out of network. The third carrier is Cigna. 3% increase was the offer, so it's a little less than the Beam renewal, still a one year rate increase. Year two, they've agreed to a 9% cap. So year two, they won't rate it up more than 9%. The rollover benefit is more limited than what you have today and what Delta has offered as well. They don't give credit, so everybody starts back at $1,500, and in 4 years they can get to a maximum of $1,950 increased benefit. The concern I have with Cigna, and I don't have any dental plans left with Cigna. They've had provider issues the last couple of years, and they're losing providers all over the state of Tennessee. It's not just Middle Tennessee, it's East Tennessee. They're having the same problem on their medical side, and that's part of when I said we've got the known entity and we want to avoid disruption. I've got concerns with Cigna. I don't have a group left with their dental plan, so they've all moved away because of that, and the medical plans are starting to move away now too. So it is a concern. So even though it's 2% cheaper, that's something I would probably avoid.
That's scary.
Yeah. So that's your dental highlights. Vision, and there's a reason we want to talk about this too. Your incumbent is CEC, but we also had Delta Dental and Cigna that voted on or bid on the Vision. If you pick the Vision with Delta or Cigna, it has to be tied to the dental. So that's a package deal with both those carriers. They're not traditionally vision carriers, so they rent the vision stuff. So those are tied together. So if we want the vision plan with Delta or Cigna, we have to take that dental plan as well. So CEC is the incumbent carrier. 2-year rate guarantee. From now to, they were the only ones who gave us a 2-year rate guarantee going forward. Unique benefit, they have a $350 benefit. It's like a bucket of money. Some of you probably aren't familiar with this benefit. We've had it for a couple years now. It's very popular. You get a bucket of money, $350, and every employee can spend it how they want to. So if I want to get contacts and I spend $100 in contacts, I have another $250 left over I can spend for my glasses. I can do that every year if I want to. I can spend it on non-prescriptions. Great benefit. Can you imagine? This is typical. Your employee doesn't need the vision insurance, but they need to purchase it for their spouse and children. Well, they're using the benefits. The employee loses out. They never get to use the insurance. Well, here they can. I can go and get it my sunglasses, reading glasses. I can get anything that's non-prescription as well, as long as I go at the provider, and I still have that $350 benefit. So fantastic. And now they've adopted that Warby Parker thing. I know my daughters use that, which is great. It's a low-cost prescription glasses where they send them to the house, and you try like 5 pair and pick one you want. So that's covered under your benefit. The other advantage with CEC, they have every Walmart. So Walmarts have Walmart-owned optometrists, and then there's independent optometrists. A lot of times, most of your networks will have one or the other. They have both, so they've gone out and contracted with both, which is a big benefit from a Walmart standpoint. Delta had, and there was an error there. It's a 6% increase, not 20. I don't know how I did that day. 1-year rate guarantee with Delta. Their benefit's half of what you have today. It's a $175 benefit. You can't get glasses and contacts the same year as one or the other, so they limit that. CEC, you can do both. Again, it has to be sold with dental. Cigna, it's 11% reduction, so they had a significant reduction over the current rates. Same $350 benefit. That is the iMed network. It's not the same network as you have today. So when I talk about disruption, we will have winners and losers. Yes, the benefit's going to match what CEC has, but my provider may not be in network if we switch here to Cigna. So those are and that's a 1-year rate guarantee. CEC is a 2-year rate guarantee. So that's dental and vision summary. If you want, we can jump right to the life insurance. Or if you have questions on those, we'll answer those
Why
first.
don't we see if there's any questions on the,
Absolutely.
Vision and dental? And then we can vote on those, and then we can move into life insurance, because that's more of a standalone.
Yep, absolutely.
And Mr. Hargrove, you are recommending?
I'm recommending the incumbent in dental, which is Beam, and the incumbent in vision, which is CEC, what we currently have.
Okay.
Now, these renewals, they're for 4 years?
It's
Or
a
is it
year
year to
for
year?
dental. Yep. The dental increase, Beam we've had for 3 years.
No, I'm not talking about the increase. I'm talking
Yeah.
about what we vote on here. Is it, how long are we tied with them? Is it 4 year, basically a 4-year contract, a 2-year contract, a 1-year contract? I mean, what are we?
So the state requires you to bid every 3 years for the benefits.
Okay.
There's some gray area there. Basically, they're saying you have to do this formally every 3 years. Where they've messed up is they said, your broker is a professional service, and when you use a broker, they can shop your benefits just like they normally would,
Right.
and make recommendations and work
Right.
with your central office folks to make a decision. But every 3 years, it has to be formally bid. So honestly, it's not addressed. It really reads that, hey, we get a 1-year rate guarantee, and then we shop it next year, but it doesn't have to be bid.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
that's what the Attorney General ruling has, and I'd be happy to send it to you if you have problems sleeping at night. Yep.
Any further questions? Why don't we do this? Let's get a motion to approve the dental bid and vote on that, or get a motion if there's any questions. So do I have a motion to,
I'll make a motion on the dental that we stay with Beam.
okay,
I will second that motion.
Mr. Kuhn and Mr. Cordell? Okay, any discussion there?
Is that, Mr. Hargrove, is that pretty much a unanimous thing with the employees too?
I think so. I mean, it's, you described in the survey.
Yeah, so the biggest concerns you'll have is, does my provider still get to go to the same dentist?
Yes.
And do I have consistency with my benefits? And that's what we get to, and we haven't had the complaints throughout the year as well. So that's a big one. Employees will always make sure if they're struggling with a benefit.
Oh, yeah.
Your folks gonna hear it. So that's one of the key things we look for is, all right, what are we hearing? And if it's quiet, that's great, because they don't tell us when they like it.
Employees.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Well, it is
Yeah.
with us too, is we
Yeah.
want to make sure that.
Absolutely.
that
And there's a
it's-
part for
that-
central
that the-
office too. Your HR staff, obviously, if they're
Yes, sir.
pulling their hair out every day, we don't want that either,
Yes,
so.
sir. No, we
yeah,
don't
that all
either.
comes into play.
We want to do what's best for our employees.
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
So,
Okay, further questions? The motion is to approve the Beam proposal to stay with Beam for the dental insurance. Further questions? Otherwise, Ms. Hodge?
Aye.
Mr. Coon?
Aye.
Mr. Cordell?
Aye.
Ms. Yinch?
Aye.
Mr. Hansard?
aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
And I will vote aye. That passes 7-0. Now we have the vision, so I need a motion on the vision.
So move.
Go ahead and, is that to state your motion? So, because we got three choices
Okay.
here.
So the dental is, if we do the vision, it has to go with the dental, correct?
So if we're staying with Beam, we don't have the choice between Cigna and Delta, so it made that real easy for the vision.
Okay.
We only have one choice.
All right, so,
Yeah.
so the motion is to approve CEC
Yeah.
as the vision insurance.
Yes,
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, Mr. Hansard and Mr. Cordell. All right, any further discussion on the vision? Kind of like automatic at this point.
Probably the easiest vote
That's
tonight.
the reason why I didn't say that.
Well, just kind of for the record, you know, for the minutes.
No,
so,
it's a good
yeah,
point.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Coon,
Aye.
Mr. Cordell,
Aye.
Ms. Inch,
Aye.
Mr. Hansard,
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Aye.
Ms. Hodge.
Aye.
And I will vote aye. That passes 7-0. All right, now we're on to life insurance.
So life insurance, the incumbent is One America. About 80% of their book of business is the public sector, so they specialize in you all. They started January 2023 with us. We've never had a rate increase. This bid, they offered us an extension for an additional 2 years, so still no rate changes. They have an annual benefit of a $10,000 increase. So if you have the life insurance, you've got a board-paid life insurance, that stays the same. The voluntary life insurance, the employees can choose and pay for on their own. At renewal, so this renewal coming up every year, if I have life insurance, I can automatically add an additional $10,000 with no health questions. So I can be in the middle of cancer treatment and add another $10,000 to my benefit, up to the benefit maximum of $500,000. So every year I can add another $10,000 and continue to do that up to the $500,000 maximum. No health questions. We haven't had any service issues with One America. Remember, rate's been the same. Administration has been great. There are one of the things I like to say with life insurance is very much a commodity for the most part. But there are instances where does the carrier do the right thing? It's so important with life insurance because it's so meaningful. Obviously, you can have a situation happen, they got to pay out a life claim. One America has done that several times where, hey, it could have gone either way. We're not going to pay it. They've paid it. So that's important for us to consider. Mutual of Omaha is the alternative. They matched all the board-paid life insurance. The rates are the same. They were a penny less on the voluntary life insurance, so what the employees pay. So that $200,000 guaranteed issue amount would be a $2 savings a month for an employee. Mutual of Omaha, great company, big company. We all grew up watching most of us, we're old enough, we grew up watching those shows.
Marlon Perkins.
Yeah.
Wild Kingdom.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have their dental insurance for my employees now. Great company. It's a 2-year rate guarantee. I don't know what it'll be after 2 years. You know, we know we've got 5 years now with One America with no rate changes, no guarantee after 2 years that they would continue to offer rate guarantees. They also do a benefit renewal of $20,000, so it's double what One America, but they cap it at the $200,000. So you can continue to add 20,000 till you hit 200,000. If you start the plan off at 200,000, that means you can't add any more. Where with One America, I can continue to add 10,000 up to the $500,000 benefit for your employees. So little nuanced differences. Life insurance, for the most part, again, Mutual of Omaha is a good company. I would suspect they'll do the same. Given a gray area, they would do the same, but we just don't have that known entity that we have with One America. So other than that, you're pretty much the same there rate-wise. It's about a penny different.
And Mr. Hargrove, your recommendation?
Stay with One America. Hope none of us use it.
Absolutely.
But
For sure.
stay with One America.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will share as well, we all did the grading separate and compared notes, and we all landed on the incumbents. So that wasn't a group think. We talked about it after, but we did do those separate. We did the weighting on the bids.
Okay, so we can get a motion for the life insurance.
I make the motion, we stay with One America.
Joe?
I'll second.
Mr. Coon? Okay, any further questions, discussion?
I just have a question for Ms. Melson. What are the benefits to our employees? What do we pay for life? Do we offer a life?
Yeah, so it's $45,000. We pay $45,000 for every employee, and then they have the option to do the voluntary after that.
And how much is that per employee?
It's $5.85 a month for us to pay for.
That's awesome.
$45,000 for our employees.
And that's something that our employees need to realize, that these are really good benefits. And you look at other professions, and it's hard to find insurance an employee having this type of coverage. So it's one benefit of being a teacher or employed in the school system.
I know when I go, my providers brag on what we have. They don't see this, they don't see this a lot from the other, patients in their office. I know especially for our vision. I will go to the vision doctor and they brag on ours, and they're like, we really wish we could have that, And so we really do try to keep, when we first selected these products, when we didn't have to bid them out, we really tried to look at the benefit side to make sure we were really taking care of our employees. So
It's important we take care of our employees and our staff.
That's correct.
So, Ms. Frida, I visit schools, all our schools prior to kickoff, and half of that talk is about benefits, about pay. April doesn't know it yet, but she'll be riding Sidekick with me next year because we do have a lot of things, a lot of great things that we offer. I mean,
Right.
the vision, the $350 and the choice between glasses and contacts, just that flexibility.
And sometimes you
That's a
take
great
that for
benefit.
granted. As I think I did when I was employed with the school system, I took that for granted. And then once you're out of it and you see where other people are making maybe a little bit more money, but they don't have the benefits and they don't have the retirement. So hopefully public education can continue like this.
All right. Mr. Coon?
I started it off last time.
Oh, did you? Okay, Mr. Cordell?
Aye.
Miscounted, okay. Ms. Inch?
Aye.
Mr. Hansard?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Hodge?
Aye.
Mr. Coon?
Aye.
And I will vote aye. That passes 7-0. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all. Have a
Thank you
night.
for your
Appreciate it.
time.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, who did this second?
It was Mr. Cordell and Mr. Coon. All right, next up is Budget Amendment 141-2026-1.
So this is
Nelson.
the budget amendment last school year, you guys passed the resolution to give qualifying teachers $2,000 bonus provided by the state funding. So we received the revenue for that fund for the $2,000 bonus. So this is the budget amendment to bring that revenue in and to pay our teachers their bonus in their September paycheck.
Okay, and since there was some squawking at the state level about taxes and things like that, you've made arrangements to make sure that it was not taxed as bonus, but actually as ordinary income, correct?
That's correct. So we would like to do it in a separate paycheck, but then we would have to tax our employees 22%. And we don't want to do that. So we're going to include it with our normal paycheck.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Just wanted to make sure everybody understood that, so.
So this is the budget to take care of the funding part, both the revenue side and the bonus payout and their benefits.
All right, so do I have a motion to approve Budget Amendment 141-2026-1?
I so move.
Mr. Cordell,
I will second.
Ms. Hodge, okay. All right, any discussion, questions for April?
And that just goes to those that were qualified by the state terms.
That's correct.
Okay. And wish it could have been differently, but.
That's correct. But yeah, they put some restrictions on it, and so
Right.
we had to review that list several times to make sure everyone met the qualifications.
Okay,
Ms. Melson, I got a question. The section other student support, says 14 employees. What employees are those?
Those are our guidance counselors.
Okay. Thank you.
okay. Ms. Hinch,
Aye.
Mr. Hansert,
Aye.
Ms. Jones,
Aye.
Ms. Hodge,
Aye.
Mr. Coon,
Aye.
Mr. Cordell.
Aye.
I will vote aye, that passes 7-0. Next up is Budget Amendment 141-2026-2.
Okay, so this is a few different things. The first item on here is the tuition reimbursement that you guys passed for CTE teacher last board meeting. So this is to clean up that line item. We've already paid that out to her, but this will clean the line item up. And then we have, we received 2 grants, one from Community Foundation grant for FRC, Family Resource Center, and then one for Sportsman and Business Charitable Grant. That also went to the Family Resource Center. So this is to bring those 2 grants into the budget and to use them on supplies for our children. And to clean up the CTE tuition.
All right, so I need a motion to approve Budget Amendment 141-2026-2.
I so move.
Mr. Cordell. Second?
I'll second that.
Ms. Hinch. All right, any questions for April on this? All right, Mr. Hansert,
Aye.
Ms. Jones,
Aye.
Ms. Hodge,
Aye.
Mr. Coon,
Aye.
Mr. Cordell,
Aye.
Ms. Hinch.
Aye.
And I will vote aye, that passes 7-0. Next up is the budget amendment, or budget update, I'm sorry.
So I'll say before I get started, this is just a preliminary view of what the year ended. This is for June, so this will be the full year, but it's not closed yet. And so I'm still making small, minor adjustments daily, so this is just a preliminary. You will get a final one after I close the books in the September board meeting. But this is just to give you an idea on how we closed the school year. So in the month of June, we received $5.2 million in revenue, which brought our total revenue for the year at $53 million. That would put us at 100% of budget compared to last year of 99.1% of budget. For expenditures, for June was $7.5 million, which brought us year to date at $50.9 million, which was about 91% of budget compared to last year, 85.26%. Most of that adjustment up in expenditures was for your increases. There are some one-off things that happened, but main majority of that increase in the expenditures was due to salaries. And if you have additional other questions, I will take them. But this is just a brief overview of what it looks like right now.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the budget update.
I make that motion.
Ms.
I'll
Jones
second.
And Mr. Cordell. Okay, any questions for April? I have one question. Just, so we have our amended budget and our balance to date, but which the amended budget shows, like a $3 million deficit, but we're not gonna get anywhere close to that, right?
No, I actually, if you look at the balance to date of revenue, 53 million, versus the balance to date for expenditures, we're gonna add the fund balance. But some of that will be in restricted fund balance and some will be in unassigned. So that split, I don't know yet. But yeah, we're gonna add around, I think, $2.1 million as of right now to fund balance.
Okay. Any further questions for April?
I have one. I always look at the percent used comparison, and I guess it's probably because you haven't received the funds, but I noticed on line 47000, federal government revenues, we've only received 94% as opposed to last year was a 303%.
So
what's the difference? I mean, what is the reason for that?
So last year, the State Department made us, if you talk about our ISM grant, so usually that revenue is reported in the 46590 line. The State Department came to us and said, we need you to reclass your equipment, the amount you spent on equipment to the federal side. So I made that journal entry last year to move, I think, around 300,000 of revenue from one section to the other section. So that's why it looks like it's 303%, because it was around $500,000, I think, is what I moved. So basically, the State Department sent out an adjustment where they wanted it classified to, and so that's just a move from one place to another.
So that was general funds?
Yeah, the ISM grant is general. It's a state grant, so it's part of our general fund.
Okay. Okay, that explains it.
Okay. Further questions? Okay. Ms. Jones?
Aye.
Ms. Hodge?
Aye.
Mr. Coon?
Aye.
Mr. Cordell?
Aye.
Ms. Yinch?
Aye.
Mr. Hansard?
Aye.
I will vote aye. That passes 7-0. Okay, next up is the football booster barn, I guess what I'm calling it, so, Mr.
Our football booster club president, Mr. Schuster, has contacted me and seeks your all's approval. He wants to place a 10x10 red and black barn at the football field down in the corner, kind of opposite of the band concession stand. The booster club wants to store and sell their Coffee County gameware out of that, but Mr. Schuster would like your approval to do that.
And I'm assuming you recommend approving this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It helps our booster club, helps our kids.
All right, well, let's get a motion on this then, to approve the acceptance of the donation. Is that what, this is a donation, actually?
Booster club funds.
It's,
The booster club is actually only paying $2,000 for the barn itself. Gentleman is building it, which they're getting it at a superb rate.
okay.
They're just wanting approval, seeking approval to place it at our
Oh,
football
okay,
field.
so the motion would be to place it at, and it's being paid for by the booster club.
Yes, sir.
So,
No school dollars.
okay, so the motion is just to place the structure at the football field?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
I so move.
Okay, Mr. Cordell?
I'll second.
Mr. Coon? Okay, any questions for Mr. Hargrove on that?
You made the statement that it would be placed where? At the...
Where the band concession
Right.
opposite of it, but they want to locate it so it doesn't interfere with people entering.
Kind of in the corner
Yes,
of where
sir.
everybody, okay. I was under the impression you was gonna put it at the other end of the bleachers. It's like you're gonna miss all the traffic, so,
Yeah.
okay, all
Yes,
right.
sir.
So it's gonna be there in the corner, basically, where everybody comes in.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, further questions? Let's, Ms. Hodge?
Aye.
Mr. Coon?
Aye.
Mr. Cordell?
Aye.
Ms. Inch?
Aye.
Mr. Hansard?
Aye.
Ms. Jones?
Aye.
I will vote aye, that passes 7-0. Next up is policy 3.400, which was pulled off the consent agenda for discussion. So let's do this, let's get a motion to approve this, and then we can go to discussion. I know Mr. Kuhn had some questions, so we can do that in discussion. So do I have a motion to,
I make a motion that we approve it.
Ms. Jones, okay, second? Any second on that?
I'll second it.
Okay. All right. Mr. Kuhn?
Looking over this policy, unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend the policy committee meeting, which I'm not on that committee anyway, but, when I was going through this material and I was looking at it, noticed that there was a section added in, from the original policy, school bus drivers. And it's on here that, I guess I have kind of a two-part question. Each school bus driver shall receive a certificate from the board prior to operating a school bus for the school district. Question one would be, what kind of certificate, that would be? And then the other part was, annually, the board shall require each school bus driver to have a physical and mental examination. I know now that they have to have a yearly DOT physical, which the driver has to pay for. What type of mental, instead of examination, I'm sure that should be an evaluation. What kind of mental evaluation are you wanting, and who's going to be paying for it? And are you requiring any mental evaluations for any other employees?
I think the line 17 refers to the certificate. It's just their driving qualifications.
Okay. Well, I didn't know
I
because
got
that
you.
wasn't in the other policy, and I was just.
Yes, sir.
What kind of certificate are we giving?
I think they're talking about their license.
That they've made all their qualifications.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that sounds great. But on line 20 is.
Okay.
I know that they already have to do a yearly DOT physical, and they pay for that out of their own pocket. But the mental examination, where'd that come from, and what's that?
I think it came from TSBA. And when I read that, and that, I understand why it jumps at you, their physical and mental examination are all in one. And I think they feel like they're mentally fit. I don't think there's a portion of their examination.
There's not any place on the DOT physical that lists mental evaluation.
I understand.
Because the medical doctor cannot provide a mental evaluation.
That paragraph has a footnote to TCA 49-6-2107E1. If you want to look that up and see if it's actually in there. So. It's 49.
Yeah, I understand your point, Mr. King, because, a mental examination,
49
what would that be?
Well,
Something we didn't look at.
That's 203.
Yeah, I just want clarification as to what it is.
How do you obtain one?
49.
Yes, how do we attain one, and then who's paying for it? Because,
I wouldn't know where to go.
Because a medical doctor cannot prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not in there. Wait, look up the citation.
Do you have it?
What's that?
Are you looking it up?
No, I was wondering if anybody else is, I can look it up if you want. So, 49 6 2
Here it is.
2107.
If you just click on that, it pulls it up. Here it is, TSBA.
TCA.
If you click on that,
Did you get it pulled up, Ms. Frida?
yeah, if you click on the link there on the policy, it takes you straight to TSBA.
There you go. How about that? I'm going somewhere different.
Okay, class, no bus, the owner of any bus.
Section,
Still not talking about that, is it?
49-6-2107.
Okay, hold up to this. Took us to 2109.
Okay. Certification of drivers and equipment, so E.
Instead of the 30.
Okay, it says no person shall be authorized to drive a school bus in this state unless a person possesses a certificate issued by the Board of Education.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can reference Tennessee Title 49, Chapter 6, Part 21 of the driver's physical and mental examination policy. And it states in there that they're required to have a physical and mental evaluation annually.
Here, it's here. It says the local Board of Education shall require annual physical and mental examinations of school bus drivers and require reports to be made on forms prescribed by the local Board of Education. So this comes directly from Tennessee Code Annotated. That's not something that, we put in the policy. It was, or TSBA put in the policy. It comes directly from TCA, but it says, and require reports to be made on forms prescribed by the local Board of Ed.
Ms. Jones, I recommend we pull the policy and send it back to committee and we can
Yeah.
delve into it a little bit more.
All right. So, Ms. Jones, you want to withdraw your
Yes,
motion?
yes, I withdraw the
Okay.
motion.
And let's, so how about a motion to refer this back to committee then?
I make a motion to refer this back to our policy committee.
Mr.
I will
Hanson,
second that.
Mr. Cordell, okay. Let's vote, Ms. Hodge,
Aye.
Mr. Kuhn,
Aye.
Ms. Cordell,
Uh-huh.
Ms. Yinch.
Aye.
Mr. Hansert.
Aye.
Ms. Jones.
Uh-huh.
And I will vote aye. That's 7-0 to go back to policy and see if we actually need forms. But it sounds like to me that the mental exam is law, so. Okay. That concludes the regular portion of our agenda. Now we have items for discussion, so, Mr. Kuhn, any general items for discussion?
No, sir, not at this time. Well, I'll take that back. I would like to congratulate Mr. Dane Wood on his award.
I'll second that.
We would be spinning our wheels up here without Mr. Damewood, that's for sure.
It would be awful quiet.
Yeah, that's right. Ms. Hodge?
I just wanted to say how glad I am that school is back and everything seems to have gone very smoothly. We have a lot of hardworking people. And also, this is a dig at us, sorry. I've been to 2 different stadiums in the past couple of weeks, and their bathrooms are so much nicer than ours. Have we done any improvements on our bathrooms at our football fields at all? Because they're kind of gross. Sorry, y'all, I don't want to say that out loud, but as a female going into a bathroom, those are gross.
Actually, Mr. Hargrove and I discussed that earlier, but I don't think that's improvements in the top that is a project for that. It's more of they need to be cleaned, and I think he's handled that today.
All right, so I'm not a bad person for bringing it up. Y'all brought it up too. That makes me feel good. All right, that's my only diss on us. Otherwise, go Raiders.
Ms. Jones?
I just want to thank our 3 supporters that are here at every board meeting, you 3 principals.
And they're smiling too.
I know.
All right, Mr. Hanson?
I don't have anything.
Ms. Hitch?
You know, I'm just kind of excited school's back in, and I can't wait to get in and see the art teachers in their new roles. So I'll be seeing you soon.
Mr. Cordell?
I'm just so thankful for this team we have, for our teachers, our staff, our board members. I'm just glad we got off to another year, and I'm so proud of our team across this county, making Coffee County greater. Thank you.
I did have one other shout out. When we left the policy committee meeting the other night, my tire was flat.
Yeah.
And Mr. Westmoreland and Mr. Hargrove changed it for me. They were
Thank you.
exhausted. We were there till 8 o'clock, and yet they wouldn't let me call my husband. And they changed that, and I just am so grateful for that.
Amen.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
I've got another testimony too. I want, of course, we all know Miss Leah Parsley is the Tennessee Music Administrator of the Year. I think that's the title. And I don't know how many of you see things on Facebook or whatever, but there was a video on there of Jelly Roll, and he brought the students from Antioch Elementary School to the Grand Ole Opry, and he was stating how music changes the lives of children, and it just gave me cold chills to listen to him sing "It's Gonna Be Okay," and those kids were singing it at the same time, and it reminded me of that presentation or program you had at Deerfield with all those kids and all those parents there, and them participating in all that, all the music instruments, singing, and that's such a good thing. And those kids from Antioch, one of the Antioch middle schools, elementary schools, and their little faces were just so happy, and it is going to be okay.
And I just wanted to say that, I was reminded by Mr. Hargrove's email last Friday when he was reporting on the news story from Warren County on the electronic use policy, and thank you, Mr. Parsley, for bringing that up. And I really wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Hansard for getting the ball rolling on that, getting Warren County over here to do the presentation. And then the policy committee, I know they went through 2 meetings where they did nothing but work on that. And then the board saw it through. It probably still needs some tweaking to do to it, but, I think, we're probably not seeing the same effects that Warren County is, but I think we will. And that was a pretty positive report, so thank you for sharing that.
Yes, sir.
And I would also like to give a shout out to Beth, because, for pushing on the art teachers, because I'm getting positive feedback on that too. I was just talking with, texting with Holly about that, and she says she's getting positive feedback. And so this is a positive thing. So a couple shout outs here, and good news is always fun to share. So, all right.
Is there guys coming up here?
Oh, yeah, we got committee reports, and then our high school, or our student ambassadors, so. we got,
Committee, our next committee to meet will be our policy again in the next few weeks. I'll be attending Superintendent Academy the next couple of days. We'll get back. We'll probably set another date for another round of policy. That's all that I'm aware of on that end. Miss Melissa, you have anything?
Yeah, 2 committees that y'all just met.
Our compensation committee, we met and discussed the potential pay for the bus aid, and the policy committee, but a lot of wood chopped, a lot of wood chopped on that night. And Miss Melissa and Miss Frida and Mr. Gilly, as well as Miss Yinch, that was awesome, along with the folks in the background. Say again. Mr. Cordell was leading. It was a lot in a short amount of time, but I appreciate our hard
Great
work.
meeting.
Thank you.
all right, next up, Davis McKenzie and William Rogers are our student ambassadors, so you guys can arm wrestle to see who wants to go first, or. Yeah, you can use, definitely. Wave to the folks on YouTube, so.
My name is Davis McKenzie. I'm a senior at Coffee County Central High School, and I am a senior representative for our SGA.
I'm Will Rogers. I'm the student body treasurer, and I'm a senior. I'm involved in DECA, and I play soccer.
All right.
So some things happening. I mean, obviously we haven't been in school for too long, but so the annual faculty and alumni show, 12 Angry Men, just wrapped up. And then golf is in season right now. They've had a good start to their season, and they played at home today versus Lawrence County. Girls soccer's first home game was last week, but it was rained out, so it's going to be rescheduled to tomorrow night at Forest High School. And cross country's first race is Siegel Under the Stars on Saturday, the 16th. And then volleyball is just about to get started. They went 3-0-1 on their play day this weekend at Grundy County, and their first game is next Monday, the 18th, against Grundy County, and their first home game is next Thursday. And then football's season opener is on the 22nd at Franklin County at 7 p.m., and then the following week is the 100th Coffee Pot game at home against Tullahoma, so that's going to be exciting. So.
A few of our teachers sent out a form asking about interest in new sports such as girls flag football, bowling, and girls and boys lacrosse. So we may have those teams in the future. In student government, the sophomores have started campaigning for their elections, and the class president and class rep elections will be in the next coming weeks. We're preparing for the Coffee Pot Week, which will be 3 weeks from now, the week of the 29th. And we've come up with some themes, like we do every year, for dress-up days leading up to the Coffee Pot. Monday is Manchester Zoo Monday. Since we call our student section the zoo, because we get pretty rowdy, our Monday theme is dress as your favorite animal. Tuesday is Tired Tuesday, and the theme is sweats, baggy T-shirts, and hoodies. But we're still enforcing the school dress code and asking people not to wear pajama pants. Wednesday is Way Back Wednesday, and dress up like a 100-year-old since this is the 100th annual Coffee Pot. And Thursday is Team Thursday. Seniors wear red, juniors wear black, and sophomores wear white. And there's no school on the day of the Coffee Pot, so we don't have a theme for Friday. And in student government, we're still brainstorming ideas for the homecoming themes, for the dance, and for the week before it. And next Thursday, homeroom club meetings are about to begin. And some examples of these clubs that meet every Thursday and discuss meetings and trips and stuff like that are DECA, FBLA, Skills USA, HOSA, Refuge, and the Chick-fil-A Leadership Academy. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
I have a question. What is Refuge? I've never heard of it.
It's a student-led ministry at the school. So we meet before school for like 30 minutes for devotion and prayer.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Davis, you and Will. So, have y'all been put on the spot today, or?
This can be the first.
Won't be the first? All right. So, since y'all were the student government, what y'all's take on the cell phone?
Going into it, I wasn't too excited, but I do.
Nobody never is.
Yeah,
They wasn't in McMinnville either, so
it's just. I mean, we could definitely have it worse because I know there's some schools that enforce it differently. I do enjoy being able to just like kind of reconnect with some of my peers and classmates. I think that is a very, very good thing about it. I feel like I definitely am a lot more paying attention during school as well. So, it wasn't, it wouldn't have been I probably wouldn't have voted for it this summer, but it's been fine. It's change, and change can be kind of different.
Will, what's your opinion, buddy?
I mean, it's definitely different, but I think not having the temptation to reach for my phone, 5 minutes, every 5 minutes in class is a good thing. And just being able to talk to people and not having to worry about, I don't know, I feel like less drama goes on during school because you can't text person, oh, this is happening or this is going on. It's just people talk to each other more, I think. I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was going to be, especially in class.
So you think it's
Thank you.
okay not having it on at lunch period?
I mean, part of me does wish we had it, but it's not awful.
It's not that
Yeah.
important. Okay.
Thank you for being
Good.
honest.
Thank you very much for letting me put you on the spot. So,
Thank y'all.
so y'all be a leader, not a follower, right, guys?
Thank you, gentlemen. and
Thank you.
We really appreciate the student ambassadors,
Yes.
coming out and sitting through the meeting, which probably isn't exciting, but, but you get to see how it all works, right? All right, Mr. Hargrove, the director's report.
Mr. Ballard, I was gonna talk about the CEP numbers, but you stole that.
You can talk about it because
No,
I'm
it's great stuff.
pumped up
It's
about
great
it.
stuff. What the gentleman, our two student ambassadors shared was great stuff. Good to be back in school, right, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Two class acts right there. Speaking of students, we're down about 60 students from last year. I believe we opened our doors last year. There were 4,295 students. And we're currently at 4,230 students. Middle school is down a tick with 787. Radar Academy is up with 435. You get the ebbs and flow of different size cohorts. Our high school is roughly about the same as it was last year, and our virtual academy numbers are up a tad. So that's kind of our student number outlook. Miss Tanya Garner will be conducting substitute training tomorrow. Just want to let you all know that goes on. Part of that will be safety oriented. The other part are academic orientation there. They also receive another video when they go to a specific school. So we're trying to do our due diligence in coaching our substitute teachers up. Dr. Blessing was removed from the August study session because we received our gross scores this week. In September, we'll be able to share a full picture of how we performed last year academically. There's no need in breaking it up. Might as well push it back a little bit, and that's encouraging. I hope you're encouraged by that. Dr. Cornelius is in the process of kind of guesstimating what our letter grade should be or what he thinks will be on our report card for this year. Well, we have a ton of great things going on in our schools, and the best 30 minutes I had of the week was spent at Hillsborough Elementary School, meeting with the second grade group. Very enlightening. Shout out to Miss Goins. I thought her name was Miss Owens, but the young lads had food in their mouth. The G sound didn't come out, but I met their teacher, Miss Goins. But it's a great day to be a Raider, and a lot of great things are going on. Our teachers are teaching, students are learning, administrators administrating. So,
Tell us about the pilot program at North Coffee and New Union for the after-school program.
our after school, our numbers are about where they were last year as far as the excellence program. We have almost 180 students. And for this time of year, those numbers, the trend last year was it would continue to grow. So we expect that number to grow. We taking actually the potential of 20 students, 10 at North Coffee, 10 at New Union, And we'll have 2 adults, a teacher, and an educational assistant in each one of those classrooms, after-school tutoring. And it will be very directed. It will be by invite, and it's for children that want to improve their reading and math performance on TCAP. So it's 4 days a week, and we'll see at the turn, and what I mean by the turn, that's in December, how we're doing data-wise with those groups, and maybe add a few more schools to that. It will not crank up, the directed tutoring will not start up until after Labor Day, but it'll be 4 days a week with no Fridays and be by invite, and hopefully we have a lot of kids that want to be part of that, and we have to expand the program, improving their academic trajectory in math and reading.
All right, great. I think that's, anything else on that?
No, sir.
All right, then, Mr. Shore's capital projects update.
Okay.
I guess you can add bathrooms on, right?
Once again, several of these items have I've already gone over. I'm just going to try to touch on the ones I don't remember that I've talked about already. Projects that's still open is athletic lighting construction documents. I got those from Wold last Wednesday. My goal is to get a ad out to the paper, send it out on Friday, so they will be in not this coming Wednesday, but the next Wednesday's paper, so we can start getting bids for the lighting athletic fields. And my goal is for us to get it on the September, have the bids in, and share with you on September board meeting for approval to move forward with it. So that's a lot to be done between now and then. High school paving, back behind, it's got finished. They finished up the punch list items last week, so that job is complete and ready to be paid. So that's the reason why it's still open. It's not been paid yet. The middle school had some cooling tower maintenance needs, so that was taken care of. Then we had Hillsborough, East Coffee, New Union, with access controls. That's adding in controls there at the very front, and it's basically kind of closing off what we call kind of the fishbowl foyer area. We finished up at Hillsborough, still working with some things at East Coffee in New Union, so hopefully that'll be done before long. High school and Raider Academy ordered some what's called door light kits. It's the little piece of glass that's in the door over here, and we have several doors that do not have that in it. And one of the school shootings that took place, the student went to open the door back up to let the other student back in. She was able to see that the student had a weapon and did not open the door, which saved a lot of situations. And it's just a safety situation, so that if somebody leaves, all of our doors are locked. Before anybody opens the door, they can see who's coming in. So we will be getting those installed when we're able to, and getting that taken care of as well. Completed projects, once again, went through several of these, but the safety Woollards, we started at the middle school. Those have been installed. Turned out really well. Our guys, maintenance, actually did the installation completely and saved massive amount of money. That was our first school that we did. We will be moving through to all the other schools as needed. So I'll be starting on next school before long. But one of the problems is we do have to work that while students are not in the building as much. We could do a little bit outside, but we'll play that by ear on what we need to do. But we will be going to each school. The high school, the conflict structure, manhole pipe adjustment. This was from putting the drainage in behind the high school. When we started digging it out and to put in the drainage, we hit a pipe that couldn't be moved, so we had to build a structure around it and have it poured and get that taken care of. We were very lucky with all the stuff that's behind the high school. We only hit one item, and that is amazing. So, and that was that one. Installed a dumpster pad at the high school, and that was done before the paving was done, and that is installed and is being used at this time. Paving at the high school also, we added some paving for teacher parking that's up towards the cafeteria or the kitchen area that created multiple parking places, and I think the high school has made use of that quite well, and I think that takes care of pretty much everything that's on that sheet that I need to go over. As far as furniture, I can't remember what we talked about, but all the furniture has been installed. We do have some punch list items, so that's the reason why it's still open. And as soon as those get taken care of, we'll get it paid for and we'll move on to the next steps. So that's about where we are, unless you have any questions.
I have a question. Do we have any idea when we'll be moving forward with Wold for East Coffee and Hickerson?
Yes. For the work session that is in August, I can't remember the days. It's 17th, it's 19th. It is actually one of the work session topics with the demographics. They have finished it. Hartfield has finished it, and we'll be presenting that day with Wold here as well. So there will be some discussion there on what they found, and then also what direction that this board is going to be looking at possibly going. There'll be some discussion in that as well, and Mr. Ballard might actually discuss that a little bit more with you as far as what direction we want to take at the meeting. But that's where we are now, is basically sharing that information with the board, and it fits better with a work session than it did a board meeting. So that's the reason why we're waiting to the work session.
I hate that I'm gonna miss it. I'm sad about it.
You're gonna miss that one?
Yes, my son plays in Warren County that night, so I won't be able to be here, so.
That'll be a
I may
big-
have to, watch it while it's happening, get some ear things.
Any other questions?
It'll be interesting to see how they assess how the county, the new restrictions for the county as far as subdivisions and that sort of thing. So that will play into our building program in the
And that information was actually shared with them. Whenever I talked with them, they asked me on a few things, and that was one of the ones I said that has just now happened.
Right.
So they did have that information.
And also, I'd like to make a request. Could maintenance weed eat or mow that? It's kind of a retention area at New Union Elementary, and I'm sure you probably can't get a mower in there or whatever. I don't know why they left that big hole or whatever, but it does need to be weed eated. It looks kind of bad.
That's a detention pond. It's not. It's a
But
little
there's
different than
never
a
any
retention
water
pond.
in it. I've never. I mean, maybe one time we had a flood, it might have, but there's no water in it.
Correct. It's a detention pond, so with it, it's a little, like I said, it's a little different than a retention pond on how the water actually flows out and moves out of it. It has a fairly steep banks, like you said.
Yeah, it just
and that
needs
makes it a
weed
little
eating.
more-
I thought about getting somebody to weed eat it. Bobby said he wasn't able.
We'll take a look at it.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, Ms. Hargrove, thank you for your Friday updates to the board members. That is very appreciated and very important, very insightful, and thank you for that.
Yes, sir. All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All right, Mr. Cordell, Mr. Kuhn, all in favor, say aye.